We stay bullish. But every time I see that S, that means something to me. Say it with me. Satoshis, ladies and gentlemen. Satoshis. What's up, guys? It's Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. That is the Bitcoin block height. That is the Bitcoin price today. And that, my friends, is how many Satoshis you can get for $1. Welcome back to Satoshi Saturday, episode number 7. My goodness. I had a different plan for the video today. I was planning on walking around the neighborhood, but of course, it's a typhoon out there. It's windy again. It gets windy in the desert, so I couldn't do it. So I had to come up here, and I'll do the best I can to talk about it. There's a lot of things, or a lot of directions I can go with this video. We're laying the foundation down every week, right? We're laying down the fundamentals of what a Satoshi is, and I think we pretty much got it. If you guys haven't watched the first 6 episodes in the pilot, please do so, because I want to build on top of each other each video so we can learn something every single week. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, at the end of my videos, except for the first video, I always say something about stack your Satoshis today so you don't have to work for those same Satoshis tomorrow. And in my other videos, I say Bitcoin is the best way to save and the only way to save. The reason why I say the ending for the Satoshi Saturday video is simple. I believe that. I truly believe that one day people and us will be working for Satoshis. More so our grandkids more, and a good part of our kids' lives, and a tiny bit of our lives. But the Satoshis that I stack today are mostly not going to be for me. I will never sell my Satoshis. And next week, I will talk about why I won't sell my Satoshis for fiat currency. I just won't do it. I need you guys to understand something, right? Michael Saylor said this at the Bitcoin conference in Atlantis. He was talking about the gold rush of Bitcoin. You know, everybody knows about the famous gold rush in America. Now he's saying Bitcoin is in the gold rush. And he's saying that from January 2024, January 11th in particular, the first day of the ETF's buying, all the way up until November of 2034.
We're in the Bitcoin gold rush. It started in January of 2024, and it will run till about November of 2034.
So from January 2024 till November 2034, just under 11 years, that'll be the Bitcoin gold rush. And it's for 2 reasons. One, obviously, the ETFs are here and they're buying more than people even expected. That's number one. That's the catalyst. But number 2, people don't understand the supply issuance and the schedule of Bitcoin and the Satoshis. And this epoch right here in November 2034, 99%, approximately November 2034, if the blocks get issued every 10 minutes, we'll be at 99% of the Bitcoin mine. Now we're at 93 point something now, but we'll be at 99%, which means in 10 plus years, in about 10, a little over 10 and a half years, there'll only be 1% of the Bitcoin mined from November 2034 until 2041. That's about 105 years or so, 106 years, depending on what month it is in 2140.
In November of 2034, 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined, and the last 1% comes out over the next 100 years.
That's insane. We've never had an asset that not only had a finality of supply, but we know when it's going to be issued and when it's going to stop being issued. My goodness, man. And that seems like a long time, right? Oh man, 10 years. I mean, think about it. It's 2024. What were you doing in 2014? I remember what I was doing. It's not that long. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go to the Bitcoin standard and we're going to be a global money in 2034. I'm not saying that. I don't think we are. But do you think we're going to be less Bitcoin adoption or more Bitcoin adoption at that time?
So for all practical purposes, the stock to flow ratio of Bitcoin is infinity in 2034. It becomes noise.
I think it's going to be a lot more. And by then, even now, people are spending sats in different parts of the world, and people are waking up to the money printing and everything else. And 2020 has woken up a lot of people, including myself, to the debasement of people's currencies. Now, here in America, I live in the United States of America. Of course, you know, inflation is pretty rough in the borders, but it's not as nearly as bad as other countries. We have it pretty good. So other countries not only will be using Bitcoin, but they will need Satoshis on the Lightning Network or whatever layer 2, 3 payment system they have that'll transfer Satoshis back and forth to people. They'll be using that. And it's going to be a completely different world than it is now with the AI technology and the computing technology and everything else, because power is going to come from computing. The computing power is going to be the new currency. And who do you think is going to pay for that? And what's going to pay for it? You think a dying fiat currency is going to pay for it? You think gold's going to pay for it? You think real estate's going to pay for it? You guys have to understand something. Satoshis are going to be very, very needed in the future. This is the first time in history that we've had a money on the internet, an internet money. This is the first time in history we've had that kind of money, internet money. Excuse the noise, guys. There's a lot of people here. It's a Saturday, so it's going to be crazy, man. It's the only money we've ever had on the internet. Now, could we transfer value with Cash App and stuff like that? Sure. But there's always a third party in between. This is money for the internet. This is a peer-to-peer network that the world has never seen. And the only reason it hasn't been adopted like that yet, because people don't know about it yet. But with the debasement of the currencies and all these things that's going on with the ETFs and people putting it on their balance sheets and people putting it in their portfolios.
At the beginning of the gold rush, no bank could custody Bitcoin, no institutional investor could buy Bitcoin, no Wall Street trading firm. When those spot ETFs were approved, that created a fire or an avalanche. The genie's out of the bottle.
More and more countries putting it on their balance sheets and more people putting it in their portfolios and everything else, and the adoption rate grows. Bitcoins are going to be a thing of the past. People are not even going to be talking about Bitcoin. This is why I make the videos about Satoshis. And a lot of people think Satoshis may not be a thing because that's, it's 8 decimal points with Satoshis. They said they may even go back farther, 9 or 10 decimal places back behind the zeros.
So a Satoshi is just basically a fraction of a Bitcoin. In every Bitcoin, there are 100 million Satoshis within it. So think of it like dollars and cents. In every dollar, there's 100 cents. In every Bitcoin, there's 100 million Satoshis. And I do think as the price of Bitcoin goes up, as the network grows more and more, we're going to have to start changing these to be microsats. And when that happens, the people who are holding Bitcoin right now are going to be in for a pretty good life, I would say, financially, wealth-wise. So even though they can't print more Bitcoin, there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. We can continue dividing Bitcoin further and further into Satoshis, micro Satoshis, and so on and so forth.
So we'll see. I don't know about that, but we'll see. But the reason I say you need to stack your Satoshis today so you don't have to work for them tomorrow is because it's simple. This is the base layer of money. Whether you know that or not, it's the future of money. So if you know that, and if you understood Bitcoin and Satoshis, and you've been watching my videos and studying and stuff like that, why would you not stack them now? Look how many Satoshis you can get for one measly cuck buck. I mean, come on, guys. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is like the equivalent to a gold rush, but much, much bigger. Much, much bigger.
It doesn't matter who's elected president next. It doesn't matter who's the next head of the SEC. No politician's opinion, no banker opinion, no regulator opinion matters after that date. That kicked off the gold rush.
And much more lucrative. It's not all about the money, guys. It's not. Your generations will be using this money in the future. They just will, whether you know that or not. So again, if you haven't watched my videos, my first 6 videos, I'll go ahead and take a look at those. But guys, listen to me. Satoshis are going to be so important. They're going to be so important. Every single person in the world is going to be using the global money. Every single country has a money, right? US has the dollar. This country has this money. Satoshis and Bitcoin are money for the internet. It's money for everyone with no middleman. I can transfer value to you anywhere in the world, anytime in the world, with no permission from anybody. It's insane. So make sure you study in Bitcoin, learn the basics, learn the fundamentals, and understand what you're working with. Your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids will never be able to get the Satoshis that you get today for the prices you get. You're not really buying Satoshis, you're just doing an exchange. That's the exchange rate today. Your kids and great-grandkids and grandkids will never be able to exchange these dollars, these amount of dollars for the amount of Satoshi you can get today. So set yourself and your family up for the future. So once you understand what you have and you understand that's going to be the base layer of money in the future, do you, your family, and your legacy and your generations a favor and stack Satoshis today so you don't have to work for those same Satoshis tomorrow. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.